Sus was at her peak. She trained hard, bleed, cried. So we were very disappointed. And that was just one moment where we realized that one of the part when I realized that the SMF is not really that dependable.
Okay, so today I have with me the oldest climber in the scene, Mr. Ben Toh. For those of you who are not familiar with him, so he founded Onsite in 2011, and after that went on to open Fit Blog as well. Yeah, and he has also been coaching. When I was in JC, he was my coach. Yeah, and heavily involved and highly controversial in the climbing scene. So for those of the viewers that are not sure of who you are, can you just do a short introduction about how you started climbing and things like that?
Okay, so my name is Ben Toh. Thank you, Gavin, for the kind introduction. Just to correct a bit, in 2011, I co-founded Onsite with Andy Tan and the team of Climb Asia. I'm not really a pioneer. Climb Asia is a pioneer, and Climb Adventure is a pioneer. So just need to get that straight. And then in 2018, I co-founded also Fit Blog with Jeremy and Leong Heng. And then 2018, co-founded Bum Bouldering with 3 other partners in Malaysia. And now we are at Boulder Planet. This with me and investor for 2021.
Okay, so what I also understand is that you were the person who founded Singapore Climbing Association way back, and you also introduced the idea of flash format, which many of the climbers today have started out climbing with and competing. Yeah. So can you walk us through what exactly Singapore Climbers Association is, and like if I'm not wrong, you guys have a YouTube channel, but it's like you guys haven't uploaded in years, right? So how did it start, and then how did it end, or what has it become?
Okay. So after traveling for a while and coming back to Singapore in 2008, me and my wife looked at the climbing scene and decided, based on our experience overseas, that we can bring a lot to the local scene. We helped out SMF for a bit, but I realized that we are not on the same frequency, and that's why we decided to start Singapore Climbers Association. And with that and the help of the PD, project directors from the Boulder Active, Fest, Rockmaster, we started the Boulder League in 2019, which we carry on, and it really brought a lot of people to the scene.
2019?
Oh, sorry, 2009. So Singapore Climbers Association is started to rival Singapore Mountaineering Federation. And back then I was naive to think that it wouldn't be too hard to be recognized as the former federation instead. But it's not as easy as it goes. I guess that was that. And so we stopped doing the league, and we stopped uploading videos. Yeah.
Okay. So since we are on the page on the topic of SMF, I think you are best known for, like what you say, rivaling SMF. And where did that start, and how did it come to this point where you guys have so much tension in between you guys? Yeah.
So after I graduated from NUS in 2002, me and my wife, we just dedicated ourselves to climbing full-time, training as hard as we can to be the best that we can. That's why in 2005, when Sus was at the peak of her game, she was winning the Southeast Asia circuit easily, that she has a chance to participate in the Asian Championship in Iran. And then so much to and fro between SMF and us, and then At the end of the day, we decided if we're not going to fund the trip to Iran, no problem, we'll pay ourselves and Sus will go. I wasn't selected. So that's why after all that to and fro, right, we realized that SMF really didn't do anything about it, and by then we couldn't get the air ticket. Sus was at her peak. She trained hard, bleed, cried. So we were very disappointed. And that was just one moment where we realized that one of the part when I realized that the SMF is not really that dependable. Fast forward to 2012, Asian Youth Championship in Indonesia. So I've already started the Boulder League. There's a lot of young kids climbing. There's a lot of potential, and in that batch were talents like Zhang Pingping, Janice, Vanessa, Vincent Tay, so on and so forth. And Indonesia, because it's not very far away and accommodation and food and travel is not too expensive, I thought that's the best chance to give our kids an opportunity to participate. SMF didn't want to send. So I was fed up and I just said, okay, I'll hold the selection trials, I'll get the kids, I'll secure the funding, and we'll get the kids to Indonesia. So I did that together with the help from some teachers that I need to mention, like Gabriel Tay from Xingming Secondary. We got that done. So it was from these little experiences that I realized that we really cannot depend on them. It just seems like I don't know why those people are there in SMF. I don't know what they're doing. And I've decided that we just have to do things on our own. That's why after the 2012 Asian Youth, I just got the kids together, the kids who went to the Indonesia Asian Youth, and just form a team, call it on-site climbing team, and just started giving them free access to the gym, get them to train out a bit, started coaching them.
Okay. So what is it now? So what is it like? What's your relationship like with SMF now, and what's your stand on how you plan to move forward with regards to involvement in the national team and things like that?
Actually, I don't intend to involve myself with SMF or national team anymore. I think there's just no point. The same people in charge are the same people from 20 years ago. If there's any change, they will change long ago. So they just carry on being themselves. So in 2019, I started the Southeast Asia Boulder League. It did well. It has a leg in Malaysia. It came to Singapore, Boulder Active, and then Rock Domination in Thailand. It did so well that in 2020 we were invited, or rather end of 2019, we were invited by the organizer of Adidas Rockstar to send the champions from 2020 to attend the Adidas Rockstar Finals in Stuttgart, paid for. But COVID happened, so no league. 2021, I don't think we're going to have a league too, but I am hopeful that we can kickstart again and have the Southeast Asia Boulder League in 2022. And okay, as I say all this, this is how I feel I can contribute to the community and the scene to do my own thing, to support the climbers who deserves to be supported. And I really believe and I want to see Southeast Asian champion from Southeast Asia on the world stage.
Okay, so on that note, do you believe that it's possible? Climbers from Southeast Asia, considering that as of now, I wouldn't say we are really that far away, but considerable by a considerable margin. But at the same time, we cannot deny the fact that we have moved so much for like maybe the past 10 years. Yeah.
Actually, we have already done it. Indonesia has done it, speed.
But they've always been good on the world stage in speed since the start.
Yeah, so they've proved that it is possible.
But for Boulder and lead is another thing, right? Because we are that much further behind.
Yes. So, I mean, if you depend on SMF, I don't think it's going to happen. If you look at the trajectory of how things are going, a lot of the young kids who are doing very well now are kids who have the opportunity and chance, and they are lucky to be able to go to Japan, to be able to invite international coaches to coach them. So I would think that it's possible, and the infrastructure will be actually quite independent from SMF. It will actually depend on parents, maybe even parent support groups who can get these kids the funding and the training that they need. Actually, just look at Joseph Schooling. Sports SG, I don't know what they did before to get Joseph Schooling to that stage, but I believe that at the beginning it was really his parents who put in the effort to get him deferred from NS, to get him to train in US and put out all the funding.
Okay. So then, so what you're saying is that it heavily depends on the infrastructure of the individual and the people that surround them, more so than, say, the federation or schools?
Schools, by default, is more for participation. Climbing is not even recognized as a NSG, National School Games. So there is still quite a bit of gap between getting schools to support climbing massively. So actually, back in the past, in 2009, when I started the National Bouldering League, and I started having the A Division, B Division, C Division champions, actually that is more catered for the schools. If the schools have all these trophies and medals, they see their kids winning, there will be more funding. That's just the way it is. So school, I think there's a gap towards the opportunity for giving opportunity to kids. But we have already seen it, and we have seen some of the youth doing well in the industry, or rather in the community, that they really have a lot of support. Actually, not from schools, not from SMF, but from parents.
Okay. So since we are on the topic of the climbing growing and progressing, let's move on to how climbing achievements on firstly a national level and more so on an international level, how it impacts the progression of the sport in Singapore itself. I'm not quite sure how it works, but for what I know, the Olympics was quite a big thing, and it is only after, I think you mentioned to me before in one of our conversations that you said something about triathlons being recognized only after it got into the Olympics, or like having bigger exposure. So like, where do you think the Olympics is going to set Singapore's climbing trajectory to?
I don't think you'll do too much in terms of excellence. So there's two parts to it. There's excellence and there's participation. So in the excellence, that means performance-wise, I think the Olympics will not do too much to help improve our excellence, but participation should massively increase based on what we see from 2000 Sydney Olympics. That was the first time triathlon was introduced, and the trajectory of all the running events, swimming and triathlon and bike riding events, it just went up a lot. So climbing will have more participation, and when there's more participation, I guess excellence will also come in, but I think that will be a little further down the road.